welcome back to I Am Becoming with Monica Singer. I first of all want to say thank you to everybody who has been watching my YouTubes and who had been listening to my podcast. We've only been on YouTube for about 3 weeks, I want to say, maybe a little bit over. We've already gotten about 14,000 hits, so it really shows that you guys are watching and you guys like what you're seeing. So I'm super excited about, more interviews to come. We have a lot coming your guys' way. So don't forget to listen to the podcast and watch the YouTube, subscribe, like, DM me, whatever it is that you like. I Am Becoming by Monica Singer. And today I want to introduce to you guys a very special guest. This is singer and songwriter Lumar Perez.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Appreciate it.
I'm excited to have you. My first time having a musician on, so I'm excited. And this is, something that I'm not too familiar with, this sound and wave of music that you're involved in, so I'm excited to talk about it today. So go ahead and just tell the audience, I'll let them know you are signed to Rancho Humilde.
Yes.
And you're fairly new and you're very young. How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
18. Oh my gosh, I thought you were even older than that. You're really young. Well, you're 18 years old. You're already signed to a label. Before we get into, a lot of details of how you got to this point, I want you to maybe tell us a little bit about your story, where you grew up, and where did you grow up and where are you from?
Well, I was born and raised in Inglewood, California. I grew up in the same house, like since I was born, it's the same house. So I've lived in the same place my whole life. I come from a first generation of immigrants.
Okay.
So I'm like the first generation born here.
So So Spanish is your first language?
Yeah, Spanish is my first language. I learned English watching TV and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like watching Sesame Street. My mom would make me watch it, and she used to put it in Spanish, and I remember out of nowhere she just switched everything to English.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny because my mom used to be the opposite. They were like, no English in the house, so we could only speak Spanish. But it's good because now my Spanish is good. I think my Spanish is good.
Yeah.
But, and then I feel like I can do English and Spanish and go back and forth. So, that's good that you have it too. And you sing in Spanish also,
Yeah,
right?
I sing in Spanish.
Yeah. And so how long have you been singing?
Man, since I can remember, I've always really sang, but never took it serious.
Uh-huh.
I've been singing seriously since I was 15, so about 3 years that I took it all right.
You're this is what I want to do.
Yeah, or this is something I could do. It started off as a hobby really, and that's when I started singing. But every time I do something, I try to perfect it, so I try to be, if I'm doing let's say skating was my hobby, I would just be skating and skating and skating. Mm-hmm. And if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. Yeah. So then with the music, I just try to do it right and stuff, and then.
And everything you sing, did you start writing at the same time, or were you singing other people's music first, just at home? When you got into knowing your vocals and all of that, was it just
when I started singing Mexican music? It was just listening to Legado, Gerardo Ortiz, Ariel Camacho, those. That's when I started singing. But writing music, I've been writing music since I was in 3rd grade. I used to write rap songs and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just for fun?
Yeah, just for fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to like writing poems. I used to write poems a lot when I was younger. I've talked about it before. And then it was weird when I think when I was in high school, I loved writing poems. I have books of just poems. And when I was in high school, it was so weird. I used to have dreams of my poems on a beat. I used to dream of a really, really cool beat and the melody. Yeah, they were singing. Somebody was singing my song. Could have been me. I don't know. And then I would wake up and I would be like, how do I record this beat? But it's there's no way. I don't even know how to interpret it. But it's really cool. I don't have those dreams anymore. But I used to.
That's how some of my songs. Yeah, that's how some of my songs. I'd be dreaming them too.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Crazy. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's out of it.
So then you just grew up, in Inglewood, and started singing, like when was the first time that you decided to say like, hey, this is what I want to do? Like, do you remember the moment when you said like, I think I want to be a singer / songwriter? Or did it all just kind of happen?
It all kind of happened, really.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were in high school, right?
Yeah, just graduated last year.
And then, I mean, how did you even, I know you play the guitar, so then once you started singing, you started playing the guitar, or did you play the guitar and then start singing?
I played the guitar first.
You played the guitar?
Yeah, and then I started singing.
And then were you singing like just at home, people's houses?
Man, I don't even remember. It's because it's crazy. Like, it's crazy how I started singing in parties because my dad, he met this dude on the bus, and I always say it was destiny because his name's Ruben, and he met my boy Ruben on the bus. He was like, "Oh, my son plays guitar," and then Ruben was like, "Oh, I have a group."
Oh, really?
And then I guess like Ruben was looking for a job, and my dad had like where he works at, there was a spot available, so then he started working there, and it just fell into place. It's crazy.
Oh wow! And then you guys just started making music. And
yeah, they would take me on like with their group, and like and during their breaks they would let me play. Se llaman Grupo Villano.
Grupo Villano.
Shout out to them. Thank y'all.
Oh, that's so cool. So they kind of put you on where you were like.
They really like threw me, like they would be like. And like sometimes I would mess up and I would get like, man, like I could do it better. And they'd be like, oh, don't beat yourself up about it.
Yeah.
They taught me really like low key how to carry myself like within the music, because there's certain things you can say, certain things you can't say.
Okay.
And then they taught me all of that. Like,
oh, that's really.
Yeah, if it weren't for them, I probably wouldn't be here.
That's cool. So then, did you finish high school?
Yeah, I finished.
You finished high school, and then did you pursue college or just?
Nah, in my senior year, it kind of just, college didn't seem like an option no more. It just,
you knew that you wanted to do music.
Yeah, like I wanted to do music, but then I also wanted, like my mom would be like, oh, go to college for a fallback, but there's nothing that I wanted. I wanted to join the military actually. But
really?
They didn't let me because I have a tattoo on my hand and stuff, so then it was like.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to join the Marines. They told me it didn't go with the uniform. It was like 2 inches.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so then
that's,
I don't know about the regulations now.
That's a good thing.
But yeah, they told me no, so I was like, oh man, project's gonna work and stuff.
Wow. Yeah. So then, how did you being on a record label? How did all of that happen?
Through my uncle Tony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us.
I call him my Uncle Tony. Like people who know, they know that he's not my uncle, but like. He's really like treated me like family, and everywhere I go, he introduces me like his nephew and stuff. So I guess Jimmy would record his artist in my uncle's studio, and then
and Jimmy is
Jimmy's of Rancho.
Of Rancho. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Jimmy too. He was like. He would show Jimmy like my songs and stuff, and Jimmy be like, oh, that's cool. So then one day I guess Jimmy posted me, and then my uncle called me and he was like, hey, what's up, man? Like, you trying to work with them? And I remember like I was like, man, I want to talk to you in person. And I was telling him like, I remember when I started doing this, I said that you and me would go, like everywhere I went, you would go. And he was like, nah, man, just go. Like, they'll take care of you. So I was like, fuck. I mean, my bad. I was like,
okay.
F it. I said, F it. I'm gonna just do it. And thank
and your
God,
friend was totally supportive.
Yeah.
Wasn't
everybody was telling me like, do it, man, and I was like, right, for sure, do this for y'all.
And it was all through a video that he saw.
Yeah. Through one of my songs called Straight from Inglewood.
Oh wow.
My uncle named it. Yeah, wow. I didn't know what to name it.
That's really cool. I remember you're now friends with my husband Lester.
Yeah.
And I remember when he first posted you, a bunch of people messaged him and they're like, we know him, he's from Inglewood, he's played at in my backyard or blah blah blah. And I was like, oh wow. And I really liked your music, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So you got signed to Rancho Humilde.
Yeah.
And explain a little bit about what their whole movement and also what it's about, and also what the style of music is. Like, what is it? What genre? Because it's not your natural.
Typical,
it's not like a genre that has been out for years now. It's a new genre basically that they're building, right?
Yeah, it's like, man, and they're just, you can see like hip hop elements. There's a lot of new elements. They just let you, like, that's what I like about my label that I'm at, that they let us be us,
Yeah. And most of you guys are born here, and most of you guys are all like young guys. So the mix of music is really, it's really cool because it's like you guys show a lot of love to your background, but yet you guys are hip. You guys are all about the latest trends and in music and even in fashion and everything. So I really like to watch you guys, everybody on the label. It's really cool because it's just like watching my husband's friends, and it's like, oh wow, like that's really neat. They're all like, the music is so amazing. They're dressed like the rest of the world. They're not, to me, I guess I have like that conception in my head where like, if like you're in a uniform, where if you're in a band, you're in a uniform. If you're a banda or corridos or something like that. So to see these guys on stage wearing Gucci and Louis and this and that, it's like, oh, these guys, they're in with the style, they're in with the fashion, and they got cool beats on their music. So like, you guys stay like in style, but it's your own style or your own rhythm, your own type of music, which I think is really, really cool that you guys incorporate all that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's I think nowadays it's just about being different and really just being yourself for real.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know Rancho Humilde, they're a lot about their movement is smoking, right? Like I know in the Hispanic community, smoking weed like was frowned upon.
Yeah, it was
like it was the worst thing. Like you could say like, I do crack, but I smoke weed is
the worst. Hell yeah. Oh man.
And it's something that, I mean, even all throughout the United States, where people are trying to just make it normal, make it natural, where it's like, hey, if you like weed, you're not gonna overdose on it, you're not gonna die from it.
We were just in Texas last week, and the people out there, they would see the bus and they would trip out.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, it's about smoking. You guys got a smoking tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Do you smoke?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just like I go on breaks and stuff. But yeah, I do smoke.
I have anxiety, so I can't smoke. But I would probably, I don't know, think I was dying or something. But I mean, no, but it's cool because you guys, that's kind of what you guys are about, is showing like, hey, we're Hispanic, we're okay if you want to smoke weed. And, because then you have rappers that are singing about, shooting pistols and doing this and doing Molly and doing all kinds of other stuff that, you don't want to influence kids to be doing that stuff. I mean, not that weed is any better, but it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Like, you guys are this whole entire movement and trying to just make it okay, make it show like, hey, look, Mom, I smoke weed, but I'm a musician, I'm professional, I have a career, I take it very serious, but I like weed sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, well, it's because I feel like weed itself is a whole culture, and then bringing it, and then I like how I say, like, weed has been in Mexican music since like the 80s, 90s. People talk about smoking it, people talk about selling it,
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a whole culture in itself in the Mexican, genre, because it's like a taboo,
Right.
And then now that we're like, it's making a whole movement about it. Well, like, not we, but like, thank God I've been put in a position where I'm kind of joining it,
Right, yeah,
so it's like it's real cool because I feel like it's gonna leave a big print,
right? Definitely
in the culture for a while.
Because it show you guys are talking about it, you guys are being about it, like, hey, this weed it's okay, it's good, and people are totally vibing to it, and like you said, it's a culture, it's a whole culture of people that they can relate to it. It's like, hey, let's listen to good music, let's get high,
and then now more than ever, I see like other races, like bumping, the music and stuff. So it's real cool that it's
I
getting.
mean, Snoop Dogg likes your music, your guys' music. I've seen a lot of that too.
Yeah, shit, it's crazy.
That's cool. So talk to us about. I know you haven't been on the label too long, right?
Yeah, like I'm going on to a year in July.
A year, okay. And then did you do last year's Smoke Me Out tour, or is this your first?
No, this is my
your
first
first
tour.
time going on tour. So prior to going on tour now, for the Smoke Me Out tour, before this, what was your biggest stage or audience, like number of people that you performed in front of?
100 people.
100 people.
Yeah, well, that's like an estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like 100.
And then, and how did that feel, like performing in front of 100 people? Was it surreal? Was it, was it just like, okay, this is what I'm meant to do?
It's cause like you don't really know, cause like
It
at
just
parties
happens.
people get drunk and then like you don't know if they're like really vibing or they're just
Or
drunk.
if they're just drunk.
Yeah, but people would look like they were having fun, so it felt
Yeah.
pretty good. It feels really good when the crowd like reacts. It's something else.
That's cool. And then now you're on tour, and
Yeah.
now you're performing in different cities, and you're on the Smoke Me Out tour with Rancho Humilde and a bunch of other people. What's the biggest stage you've performed on, or the amount of people that you think?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. And I know that it'd be packed sometimes. It'd be real packed.
So I went to your guys' concert you guys had in LA, and I know the concert was sold out at the Microsoft Theater, and that theater itself held 7,000 people. So, and I've seen some of your guys' performances online, and it looks like the audiences are even bigger, right? Because have there been bigger places in Microsoft, like where you see, where it seems like more people?
In Texas, in Houston, we played like at an off-roading arena, and there was supposedly like 10,000 people there supposedly, but I need glasses so I can't see.
Oh.
So like I look at the crowd and like I see a whole bunch of heads, but like I can't count all the way to the back, like.
Yeah.
And I try not to look at the back because I try not to get nervous.
Yeah.
It takes to get used to.
Yeah, even that 10,000
Yeah.
people. How was it performing for the first time in front of that many people?
Oh man, it was.
Were you nervous?
I was nervous. It's crazy because as soon as I get up on the stairs and like about to get on the stage, like everything just goes away.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, it feels real good.
Yeah.
Like damn, like we're really doing this.
That's so cool.
I still can't believe it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's.
And I know, you guys just started going on tour, so it's barely starting. So you're literally living in the moment. You guys are about to take off today, tomorrow, or this weekend.
Tomorrow to Chicago.
Go to Chicago, performing in Chicago. I mean, how you're 18 years old, like you're on, this huge record label, and not only that, you mentioned that before, you started singing, you were listening to Legado. Now Legado's on the label, you're working side by side with them. He's on the label that that you're on. How does that feel to be working side by side with somebody that you listen to?
It's surreal. Like I remember the first time I seen him at the studio, it was I just seeing them like damn. Like I used to listen to their music every day, like walking to school, and their music was like not just their music, but like a whole lot of people that I've met. I just can't name them right now. Like just listening to them, like through the day, they help you get through the day. So in a way, like when you meet them, it's like man, like you have to tell them like thank you, man, for like putting this out. It got me through this and this.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but yeah.
What's like a major goal? It doesn't have to be like something that you're already working on now, but something like you want for yourself in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Like what is it that you want to accomplish?
Man, I want to build something like build something that I can leave on for people, man, I can't even.
You can't even picture yourself that far.
My goal, I see it, like I want to own businesses and stuff. I want to have my own business one day, probably like clothes or something. And then
so you see yourself doing more than just music?
And just music, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like recently, like I'm looking into like real estate and all that stuff. You
Yeah.
know, buying properties.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do a whole lot of things, man.
Well, that's
It's
good.
crazy.
You're young, so to even start thinking about that. I bought my first property when I was 19. I bought my first property when I was 19, but it's good to have that mentality because, you know, a lot of people, I mean, kind of like, you know, Nipsey Hussle promotes, and he said, you know, he used to say many times is instead of going out there and buying chains and Gucci this and that, you know, you got to put that money into apartments and buildings and real
gotta
estate.
buy your neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what's going to end up making you money in the long run. It might not be, you might not see a return right away, but you're always going to have a return later on in life. You know, it's like, it's all about how much property you own. Because once you start owning property, all these doors open for you. You can buy anything. If you own property, it's like you can have credit.
Dang.
Like the limit is, you know, is endless. It's like, oh, you own property. Well, do you want a boat? Do you want, you know, how many cars do you want today, sir? Or you know,
Dang.
like what is it? And it's just it's really amazing. And then you take out equity from the first property, and you put that equity into more properties, and you rent them out, and you started off with one. So one property can get you this many more in 5 years. You'll have, you know, you could have X amount of properties just off of that one initial purchase that you made, and then you have all this equity invested. So that's really smart that you're
that's
what you want to do.
You just gave me more, like I didn't, like you see, like all that, the credit and all that, like
Oh yeah.
they've been telling me to build my credit since the longest, but
Oh yeah.
I
you
haven't
need
got to that.
I'll
I'm about
help
to
you.
get on that.
I'll help you with all that. But yeah, I mean, setting yourself up, and you know, once you invest into property, that's that like making money while you sleep money. That's, you know, you can't put a price on that. You're not out there physically working. Your money is just generating for you, and you're building equity and your credit, you know, everything. So you have all these options once you start owning property, and you don't have to make you can own and then rent them out, which is what I'm working on right now too, is just renting property out because rentals are really expensive. Rentals are high. So
You know what's crazy? The first person who told me about all that was a Uber driver.
Really?
Yeah, the dude, he was like, man, I do Uber for fun. He's like, and he was telling me everything. Like, he's like, man, you gotta buy. He told me, and I'll never forget. He's like, man, you gotta buy dirt because they don't make it no more. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
That was something.
Yeah, get yourself some passive income and you'll be good. Well, I mean, I'm sure. Do you see yourself like? Are you into like any movies? Like wanting to be on the big screen later on or anything like that? Or do you see yourself as like a huge, you know, success in the future up there with other artists?
Well, that's what we're shooting for, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we, like as long as I'm able to make music, I'm gonna keep on making it, you know? That's something that I never lost. Always never try to lose a passion for it, because you know, like I've seen a lot of people lose passion for music over money and stuff. So as long as I'm able to make music, I'm gonna keep on making it. And if I'm hoping, you know, we're shooting to be successful.
Yeah, that's good. And your music is a little different from everybody else's. I really like
thank you.
Your style. And like you said, you know, they allow you guys to kind of be free and do your own style of music. So, you know, for those of you who haven't listened to Lumar Perez's music, it's on YouTube, right? Go on YouTube.
YouTube, Spotify, iTunes.
Yeah.
There's somebody posted on SoundCloud. You guys can find it on SoundCloud too.
Yeah. So I want to, you know, leave the audience with this. What is something like, say, an aspiring young guy who's in high school that wants to, you know, pursue what you're doing now, wants to be on a record label, that wants to write music or sing, be a singer? Like, what's some piece of advice that you would give that person?
Keep your vision as clean as the first day you envisioned it. That would be something I would tell them.
Keep your vision clean.
Yeah, don't let if you have a goal, shoot for it. Don't let nobody stop you. You know, keep it like how you don't let like, oh well, this didn't work out, so I can still do this. Like, nah, if you want something, get it how you exactly want it, you know. So it's like, if I want to be like, man, like I'm shooting for awards and all that, so you know, like
that's good. That's good. Like, you have to have a goal. You have
just
to have
gotta
big
shoot
goals.
for everything, you know. Be hungry,
yes,
but don't be greedy. I would say be hungry, but don't be greedy, you know.
I agree. Well, thank you, Lumar, so much.
Thank you for having me.
Can you let everyone know where they can find you on social media?
Instagram, Lumar Perez.
Lumar.
Lumar.
Perez.
Yeah, that's right.
Lumar Perez.
And yeah, that's probably the only social media I really have. Instagram.
Do you have YouTube? Or are you under the?
Yeah, I don't even post on YouTube no more.
No. Okay.
Yeah, like, but you guys can still find me. Like at my old YouTube is just Lumar Perez. My old videos.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of videos of the Smug Me Out tour, and we'll be able to catch you on that on YouTube. All right, you guys. Well, there we have it. Lumar Perez. Thank you so much. And if you guys like what you heard, don't forget to listen to some of my previous podcasts. I've had some amazing guests, and so if you want to listen to more, go ahead and go to my website, monicamsinger.com. Click on my podcast tab, click on my YouTube tab, or go to I Am Becoming by Monica Singer. But the link will also be in the descriptions. So see you guys next time. Bye.